Now, self-harming is a difficult and highly emotional subject. But this morning, new research suggests the number of children involved is increasing.
Yes, according to a survey carried out by mental health care specialists Affinity Healthcare, of 11 to 18-year-olds, 22%, that's more than 1 in 5, said they had self-harmed.
Yes, the figure was higher for girls. 32% of them admitted they deliberately hurt themselves.
And of those who self-harmed, 73% said they did it by cutting, and over 40% of children said that depression was the main reason.
Well, Jade Robinson used to self-harm, and Roseanne Pearson is a counselling supervisor at Childline. Thank you both very much for coming in this morning. Jade, can I first start with you? For the people who don't really understand the self-harm thing, just go through what you did and why you think you were doing it.
Well, self-harm is mainly a coping mechanism. It's an overwhelming feeling that there's stress, there's pressure, all different kinds of reasons causes it. And then it's the release of that by cutting, burning, other forms of self-harm.
So how old were you when you were doing this?
I started when I was about 12.
And what did you do to yourself?
I started cutting to start with, and then it moved on.
And
to other
cutting
things.
literally means you're using some kind of a blade or something, what, a razor?
It started off with glass, and then it moved on to razors
So
and
you
things
would
like that.
break glass and then cut yourself?
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Roseanne, I mean, it's shocking to hear,
Yes.
but it looks like a number of people are doing this, particularly girls. Why? I mean, lots of parents are finding it very hard to get their heads around why girls do this.
Well, there's a lot of different reasons, and I mean certainly at Childline, if you think, for example, last year we had about over 5,500 calls about self-harm. It's been increasing steadily over the last 10 years, and there are many different root causes. Sometimes it's related to a particular crisis in your life. A child might have been abused, and they might be feeling guilty or feeling low about themselves. Sometimes it's just a cumulative effect of maybe school issues.
But is it about actually harming yourself? Is it an attention-seeking device?
Not at all.
Is it about having some sort of control over your pain? What are the actual reasons for doing that rather than anything else?
Well, there's a variety, again, of different reasons. I mean, some people do it to get a kind of release. Some people do it to punish themselves, particularly if they're feeling guilty or low about themselves. They might want to self-punish. Some people do it just as a way of dealing with depression or very difficult feelings, you know, as Jade was describing.
When you were doing it to yourself, I mean, where were you cutting on your body? Was it done deliberately so that people wouldn't see?
Mine was never attention-seeking. No one ever saw. I would always wear long-sleeve tops. It was always on my arms, on my legs.
So was it here, what, you're on your
on my
forearms?
arm, all the way down my arm.
But then you'd cover it up?
Yeah.
And did anyone ever see it? And I mean, you obviously made a point of making sure people didn't know.
Yeah. My aunt probably was one of the first people that ever saw it, which was by accident. But I would wear jumpers and long-sleeve tops.
And when she saw it, did she question you? Did she say what's going
I
on?
brushed it off at that point, but she did go to my parents and did say, I've seen this.
It's incredibly brave of you to talk about it in public. You have actually got past that stage now, haven't you?
Yeah.
How did you manage to get through that?
I think you get to a point in your life where there has to be a change. You can't do it forever. And I don't know, generally in my life I was happier, so I needed it less and less. And then it just come to a point where I didn't need it anymore. And with the right support and things around me, I managed to move on.
And Roseanne, sorry John, I was just going to say, for parents listening, what advice can you give them if they're concerned?
I think it's really important to listen to your child. It can be very shocking for a parent and bring up a whole load of mixed feelings for the parent. But it's important not to overreact, not to appear too shocked or angry, to allow them to talk and maybe to enable them, if they're not able to talk to the parent themselves, to talk to someone else. Or certainly recommend that they would call Childline, because we can talk to them, you know, we're there 24 hours a day, so we can talk to them at any time when they actually feel at that moment they want to self-harm.
Roseanne, thank you very much for coming this morning. Jade, particular thank you to you.
Thank you.
Nice
Good to talk to you
Thank
this morning.
you.
16 minutes past 7. Coming up a little bit later on the programme this morning, are you searching for some twinkling stars? Raymond Buchanan is somewhere you could find them.
This is the place to go, stargazing crazy.